This is reading lesson number 2. This is talking about different kinds of text. We've talked about fiction, nonfiction, informational text tells us facts. This is another word for informational text. It's called expository. So expository writing or expository text, expository reading is going to tell us true facts. It's a form of nonfiction. So the title is Warm Up to Sing. You'll see the title is bold because it's important. Also, look at the title. They've capitalized warm, up, and sing. So not the word to. It's one of those words that is not important, does not need to be capitalized. So you're going to read the paragraph. Many singers warm up their voice before they sing. You can tell that this is telling us information about singers. This stretches out their muscles. Humming is one way to warm up. Blowing air through the lips is another way. Singing the musical scales warms up the voice too. So they've given us 3 ways to warm up your voice if you're a singer. Can you name them right now? It says humming, blowing air through the lips, and singing musical scales. Those are all ways to warm up. So then underneath you see a table, and we've done a lot of work with tables and graphs. You want to look closely at everything that's bold and how the table is labeled. So it says minutes, and then you see numbers underneath. Those are the minutes that someone is warming up. And then on the bottom you see warm-up exercise. And then there's the 3 things we talked about: humming, lips, which means blowing through the lips, and scales, which means singing the musical scales. So that means singing each note going up and down. All right, so then you're going to answer the questions 1, 2, and 3 with complete sentences using the paragraph and the table. I'm not going to give you the answers today. I want to see what you get. But make sure you have a complete sentence, starting with a capital letter, ending with a period. Number 1 says, how do you know this is expository text? How do you know that this is text that tells us information? What is it? What is it telling us? And is it true? So make sure you say this is expository text because. Number 2, what information can you learn from the bar graph? So we called it a table or a graph, and it is a bar graph because they colored 1 bar for 5 minutes, 2 bars for 10 minutes, and it would be 3 bars for 15 minutes. It's kind of similar to our food pantry graph where each bar stands for 5, and on our food pantry graph, each picture stood for 2. So a bar or a picture doesn't always have to stand for 1. So what information do we learn from the graph? Do we learn how many people are singing? Do we learn how long they're practicing? Do we learn what ways they're warming up their voices? So make sure you use a complete sentence. The bar graph shows me, and then tell me what you see. And number 3, how much time do singers spend singing scales? So you're using the graph to tell me the amount of minutes singers use to practice their scales, but don't just write a number. You can see that it's a number, 5, 10, or 15, but you need to say singers use blank number of minutes to practice scales. Okay, so this is about reading, checking a graph, understanding a graph, and then also writing complete sentences to answer. If you don't write complete sentences, your work will come back to you next Sunday. All right, thanks.